As predicted, exit polls show health care to be the most important issue for voters nationwide. 41% put it at the top of the list. 23% said immigration is the most important issue. 22% said the economy. 10% said gun policy. So that was our reporting here on Morning Joe, just hours after a wave election last November put Democrats back in control of the House. Now Republicans are trying to get ahead of the issue in 2020, a fight Democrats are happy to have. When New York Times reporter Maggie Haberman asked an administration official why they would challenge the Affordable Care Act now, on the heels of Trump's best 2 days in office, well, that official deadpanned, quote, "Too much positive news. We need to change the subject, I guess, and go back to doing destructive things." Good morning and welcome to Morning Joe. It is Wednesday, March 27th. With us, we have MSNBC contributor Mike Barnicle, White House reporter for the Associated Press, Jonathan Lemire, president of the Council on Foreign Relations and author of the book A World in Disarray, Richard Haass is with us, MSNBC political analyst and former chairman of the Republican National Committee, Michael Steele is here this morning, and NBC News national political reporter Heidi Brisbilla is with us. Good to have you all on board. What the heck is going? What are they doing, Joe?
Well, you know, that's what a lot of.
I mean, I hate to take their side, but I think they're making a mistake.
That's what Republicans are, and don't worry, nobody will ever think you're taking their side. But that's what a lot of Republicans are asking right now. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm glad we showed the clip of the morning after the election, because this was the biggest landslide in the history of off-year elections. Republicans did worse, got beaten by more votes than any party ever. And the 40 House seats that were flipped, that was the Republican Party's worst performance since Watergate. There were three issues that mattered. Russia, oh wait, no, it wasn't Russia. Nope. It was health care, and health care. And as we said yesterday, Mika, Donald Trump's record on this is so abhorrent. Is so sure to turn off voters in Wisconsin and Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Florida, the states that matter the most. He promised universal health care, and then he lied. 2 years later, he said, no way. He didn't want it. It was too expensive and too inefficient. He promised he wouldn't cut Medicare for seniors, wouldn't take money away from them. He ended up cutting $845 billion in his latest budget. Now, they'll quibble and say it wasn't $845 billion. It was more like $560 billion. It was a lot of money. Donald Trump also promised he'd never cut Medicaid. And you remember he bragged about it. He said, this is my deal. Me promising to never cut Medicare and Medicaid, and Mike Huckabee's actually stealing these ideas from me. He was so proud of that fact. Well, he broke those promises as well. He promised Americans, he promised workers in Wisconsin, he promised workers in Michigan, he promised workers in Pennsylvania, you're going to pay less, your deductibles are going to be less, you're going to get better coverage, everybody's going to have coverage, and I'm not going to eliminate pre-existing conditions. What he proposed yesterday, make no mistake, in 2020, a much bigger political earthquake on the ground than anything we find out when the Mueller report is finally released. And we actually know what's in the Mueller report instead of a hand-picked, sort of a scrubbed, sanitized letter that William Barr picked, a man, again, who got his job because he wrote a job application that said, I don't like Robert Mueller's report. I mean, whatever he said, he was like a third grader asking if he could get a paper out, and that's how Barr got his job. He wrote a letter. That letter, nobody will remember in 2020. They will remember the Mueller report when we finally find out what the Mueller report is. And they're going to remember this, because health care will be the issue that determines who wins Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Florida, and the White House.